So, so this is going to be another episode of Off the Clock with Mo. Today, I had the opportunity of having a dear friend of mine, Tia, join us on the podcast today. So, thank you, Tia, for showing up to the podcast finally after trying to get you to do this podcast forever.
Thank you for having me. It is a pleasure to be here to discuss certain topics with you on Off the Clock.
Yeah, because when we off the clock, you let your hair down. You can,
Of course.
You be you. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta worry about all that, politically correct shit and all them, all that shit like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, we ain't gonna necessarily spew hate, but we gonna let your hair down and you're gonna be comfortable and before you ain't gonna realize you on the podcast. It's just gonna be like a whole vibe and conversation.
Exactly.
And because I know you said earlier a while ago that you was single with a kid and things like that, and I know me myself, I'm dating someone. I'm not necessarily single, but I went through the whole process of the whole single thing, and the shit is even hard dating.
Yeah,
like shit, it's hard dating. It's hard finding somebody that you're comfortable with dating, because it's a lot of crazy motherfuckers out here that just got other alternative motives, on their mind.
Exactly.
Correct. You have you ever ran into a situation to where you was dating someone, I don't know how recent, but then they was on something else?
Yeah, I've run across a lot of guys that date with different intentions than they may, be truthful and honest about. Some date with the intent to just run through you. That's if you allow them to.
When you say run through you, what do you mean run through you?
I mean, they just want to see how far they can get with you, sexually, or put you in rotation amongst with other women.
In rotation?
Yeah, rotation.
Oh, they do the rotation?
Of course, they do rotation.
The older guys or the younger guys?
They all do.
Oh, shit.
But
I wish I would have had me a rotation.
They'll just see how far they can go with you. They'll basically see, if they can test your boundaries, see what you're about. Basically just dating with just no intentions on being serious.
But isn't part of dating also you dating to see if this person fits me? So if you think that I'm dating you just to run through you, but I'm dating you to see if what you had to offer fits me though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Sex.
But I may be a sexual person though. You know what I'm saying? That person may be a sexual person to where they may have a high sex drive, or they may just love being open, because in the days where everybody just open and shit. You got sister wives and uncle husbands, or whatever the hell you call this shit nowadays. So do you think is that they trying to just run through you, or this is who they are?
For one, it could be both. I would say it could be one that is that's just their personality. Two, they haven't been taught any better. Three, they may feel that running through women is putting a notch on their belt. Four, that could just be just who they are, and they don't have any intentions on getting in real relationships, and they just want to run and have sex with different women because they might have like some childhood trauma, and they feel as if having sex is one of those things that get them past whatever that they're going through.
Get me past a few things.
It's just like, for women, it could be shopping, overeating, drinking. It could be all kind of things. But however, it's nothing wrong with dating, but be open. Let a person know, hey, I'm, just casually dating. I'm out here trying to get to know people. So with that being said, we're just being friends, and I am, seeing other people. When you say seeing other people, you definitely need to express what seeing other people mean. Are you in a relationship?
But if you're a stripper, isn't it safe for me to assume that you're seeing other people?
No, you can't assume. The first three words of assume and assumption is ass.
Yeah.
So don't make an ass of yourself.
But you stripper.
That
It's
doesn't
safe,
mean anything.
but isn't it safe for me to assume that, hey, shit, you about to go shake your ass for somebody else. You about to go do all this shit for somebody else to get $1. So ain't it safe for me to assume that you may just be fucking
No,
someone else
absolutely
from time
not.
to time?
Just because you are a stripper, you can't judge a book by, you just can't judge everything by its title. That's first and foremost. You can have women that stripping just because they have to take care of their children. You have strippers that is trying to get an education.
Yeah, but isn't that like reading the Playboy book and say, I just look through the Playboy book for the ads?
No, however, just because a person is a stripper doesn't mean that they're having sex and doing strange things for a piece of change for money. You have a lot of strippers that come
But
from
if
good
she could suck a
homes.
dick from the back,
Come on now.
I'm just saying you started the whole damn saying from. I just finished the whole damn. I just finished the scene for you. That's all. You just left a piece of the scene out.
You went to the strippers, but you can't do assumptions with everybody. Just because they're a stripper doesn't mean that they're a freak. They're gonna do anything for money. That they have a low vibrational personalities, that they're not smart, that they don't have wisdom or nothing like that. You can't just dictate their personality because of their occupation, because you don't know what their occupation is.
But if I'm a doctor, it's safe to assume that I want to heal somebody.
Yeah, and you also got a lot of doctors that, guess what, is sexually assaulting patients as well.
Yeah, but it's safe to assume that I want to heal somebody before that part happened, though, ain't it?
No, that's not necessarily true, because you have a lot of doctors that, guess what, they are doing kickbacks. They're actually prescribing medication that you do not need. If you look at the media records of how doctors are doing you. So just because of a title, don't get caught up on titles, because at the end of the day, a person is still a human.
But if I drive a dump truck, it's safe to assume that I go pick up trash and dump it, ain't it?
That is correct.
If I'm a police officer, it's safe to assume that I drive in the car and pull people over from time to time.
That's not all that a police officer does, though.
I mean, but it's safe to assume that, when you first become, that's going to be one of the positions that you're going to be in.
Yeah, that's one of many.
Yeah, so it's safe to assume that, hey.
But I would say get out of the assumption club. That's why it's good to communicate, so that way you don't have to assume. It's good to ask questions, so that way that you can be veered and you can have understanding of a person, because you can assume a lot of different things. Such as for myself, I have piercings and I have tattoos.
Okay.
And I have a lot of guys that assume that, guess what, I'm promiscuous, I'm out here. I've been approached like, hey, are you a stripper? And guess what? I'm not a good time. I have knowledge, I have skills, I have all kind of things. But don't judge a book because of what you see.
Okay.
This is just your outskirts. But once you sit down and we start to conversate, and we gonna articulate and communicate, you're gonna see I'm more than what you have looking at.
Yeah, that goes without saying. But at the same time, for people to come up with an idea that makes, I don't know if it's because it makes sense to them or what it may be, but okay, all right, I think this person, you got all these damn tattoos on you and shit. Yeah, you may get down. I'm gonna see, because it's like that. It's like that stereotype.
Exactly.
You have healthy stereotypes, and then you have unhealthy stereotypes. And stereotypes are meant for people to have an understanding of something. That's how they come up. That's how people come up with an understanding of things, is based off the stereotypes. I see all these tattoos and piercings. Well, shit. It's I don't know, but I'm gonna play the devil's advocate and say it's safe to say, you may, depending on the tattoos that you have, they ain't all cartoon tattoos or some shit like that. hey, shit, she may know what she doing in behind closed doors. She may know how to do a couple things. I'm trying to see what that's all about. And then you get to talking and give me a damn headache. I'm like, I guess I failed on that one.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the point that I like to give because, like I said, assumption, you can make an ass out of yourself. And if you don't get to sit down and talk to a person and have a heavy conversation and get past the book cover of what you just looking at, sometimes you might miss out on a good educational read because you're judging by the cover of a book.
Yeah, but in a relationship, don't we all get that? Don't we all do that assumption in well, not even before the relationship, but in the beginning of the meeting process? Because you're gonna look at somebody and say, "Damn, that's a beautiful.
Fine,
they fine.
He's handsome. This and that.
Yeah,
people are always attracted by appearances first,
right? Yeah.
And after you get through past the appearances, then what? What's next for you? Is that what you stay stuck on?
You may fit what it is that I want out of an individual, or you may not fit what I want out of an individual, and then I'll go my way and you go your way, or we come together for a minute.
Well, let me ask you this. So are you the type of guy that just feel what you see is the fit for you, or do you go past what you see to do further investigation?
Well, initially, like anybody else, it's the site first.
Right. But you go past that though.
I mean, I end up going past it to a point. If you allow me, if you allow it to go further, then I might be like, all right, let's go a little further with this. But if you cool with keeping it where it's at, and I'm definitely cool with keeping it where it's at, it's gonna stay where it's at.
So what you're saying is, if you look at a person and
if we fuck on the first date, that's where we staying at.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
So, but what I'm saying is, so your intentions is basically what I see. If that person looks good and that person is with whatever, then if that's where it's going to lay at, that's what it's going to be. You're not interested in going to find out more about that person.
Well, no, like I said, if you allowed to go further, then yeah, I'm gonna go. I may. Depending on who you are, or depending on what I get from you, what vibe I get from you, then yeah, I'm gonna go a little further. But if my vibe and everything is, nah, she can't meet my kids. Nah, I ain't taking her to my mama house. I'm gonna take her home though. I'm gonna take her to the room though. I'm gonna take her down through there though. But nah, this ain't what it is. But if it's something in me that clicks in me, to say, hey, go further. This one is worth it. This one has something to offer as well, and see where that go. And then once you go to that point and that person takes you somewhere, or you take that individual somewhere a little further than the site. Nah, what starts to happen? Nah, you got to get to know this motherfucker. Now you got to get to know this person's do's and don'ts and likes and unlikes.
That's when friendship's supposed to come in. You need to start off as friends. Shouldn't be too eager to jump into having a title. That's why.
It depends on how old you are.
Well, no.
If I'm 60 years old, I ain't got time to be your friend.
Well, then that's the problem. Because
we got to get in this. This is death to us part, and we got to get this. We got to get this shit rolling.
And that's
I'm
why,
about to die.
Well, that's why a lot of relationships start so quickly and they end so fast because you miss all the red flags by diving into something so quickly. You don't get to learn a person, and that's the problem. Everybody want to go so fast. They don't want to learn a person. They don't want to start off as a friendship. They don't want to take things slowly, and then they just want to dive into a relationship and do everything a relationship does. And then after that is then what? Now they're expecting a ring. Okay, well, we didn't dive in, we didn't pass, we just skipped friendship. Now we done dived right into relationship. So now, what's your intent? Now you have the woman asking, what's your intent? We done did this, we done did all this and this and this. Where we stand at now? So that throws pressure on men, which men They want to back up like you moving too fast. But oh no, we jump past go when we should have started off as friends. That way we could have known what page we was on. And as all the time,
but what is a friend when you got two people that opposite? Well, I guess two people of opposite sex, and then in this day and age, two people of the same sex, and because exactly what is it to be a friend if you having relations, you having sex with this individual? Because I don't have sex with none of my friends.
Okay, but what I'm saying is,
I don't have sex with none of my friends.
What I'm saying is, a healthy relationship, you should start off as friends. That way you can get to know a person. You get to know their do's, they don'ts, they likes, their dislikes.
So if we friends, you cool with me with seeing other people as well then?
If we're friends.
Yeah, we friends.
We're friends. And so that's the whole point. When we're friends, we can say, hey, we're friends. I'm single, you're single. I'm getting to know you, you're getting to know me. I am going to, go out with other people as well as you go out with other people. However, just because you're friends and you're both single, that doesn't mean that you have to completely be together. People can go their ways and date other people, but we're just still friends.
But what if you friends, but then your feelings is getting in the way of this shit because we friends? You telling me all your business. I just went out with Leroy. I just went out with Keisha. I just went out with Marcus. I just went out with Latanya or whatever. And you're like, God damn.
Well,
I'm trying to be your friend, but I want to be with you.
Well, then that's the point where then you have a conversation because we're friends, and it should be transparent. Like, hey, I really do like you. I'm trying to see where you and I can go. And if that person is receptive to it, then if that person feels the same way, then it's like, okay, well, let's set the boundaries. What are we doing now? Are we moving to the next phase of, you not seeing other people? I'm not going to be seeing other people. And we're moving into the next phase of getting to know each other, or we're going to start, moving into an intentional stage.
Because I know we friends. I got a feeling. I got some strong feelings for you, and you don't went on a date, and my mind may. Like, I bet you don't fuck this motherfucker.
Well, that's the point. That's the point of being friends, because when you be friends, you know what type of person that you're dealing with. That's why I say it's best to be friends. And when you transparent and you open, then you know what kind of woman you're dealing with. You know what kind of man that you're dealing with. So if you know what kind of woman I am, just say, for instance, like you and I are friends, and I'm saying, hey, yeah, I'm going out on a date, I'm just going, to grab something to eat, have a couple of drinks or something like that. But you know what kind of woman I am, how I carry myself. I'm not an easy bait. I'm not out here just, running past go. I'm not promiscuous. I'm not that girl on that first night. I'm not that happy fun girl. I'm not that. So with that being said, you should have enough trust in me that guess what? It's just going to be what it is. And plus, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm being very open and transparent.
Yeah, because ain't no relationship here.
No relationship.
There's no relationship here.
What do I get out of mine?
And I'd be like, God damn, this is the woman I thought I liked, but shit.
Well, however,
she don't went out. She don't went out on 5 days and slept with 2 guys.
That's your time to
I'm like,
speak up.
damn.
That's your time to speak up and say, hey, I have, my feelings for you have increase.
I can't hold a candle to this next motherfucker. This next motherfucker right here. He got here I am in a 2-bedroom apartment just because I lied and said that I had a kid I didn't have, so I could have extra room. And this motherfucker,
you know what?
This motherfucker got a whole goddamn house, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 1 with a master bedroom, and all this other good shit like this. I can't hold a candle to this motherfucker.
Well, first of all, as a woman of my caliber, I don't look at a person for what they have. Because you can have a 1 bedroom and a person can have a whole mansion. But is that person treating you right? Is that person respecting you? Is that person making you feel fulfilled? Whereas the person with the 1 bedroom, guess what? Even if you If it was a studio apartment, guess what? But I feel happy with you in that studio apartment because that's just the woman that I am.
Shit, I'm trying to make I'm still trying to make ends meet. Ends ain't meeting. Ends is this far apart. This motherfucker ends is meeting and coming back around each other and meeting again. And
well, however,
I'm like, God, I can't do nothing with this. You want to struggle with me as a friend and in a relationship?
Well, I look past superficial things, and what I look
superficial is being what?
Superficial is being material things, as far as money, as far as what you have.
Well, comfortable as a motherfucker though.
Excuse me?
Comfortable as a motherfucker though.
Yeah, you can be comfortable, but you can also be uncomfortable and miserable. You have a lot of comfortable, miserable people.
Shit, you on the left, you on the right wing, I'm on the left wing. Or we in this 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom apartment right next to each other all goddamn day long.
But we're having such an amazing time, and our conversation and our vibes are off the hook versus me and a left wing and a right wing as the gentleman is in. And guess what? The home doesn't feel like a home. It's empty. There's no conversation. There's no love. There's no attention. There's no affection. There's no talking. There's no cohesion there. So what would I rather have? Would I rather have a man that has small things, or would I want to have a man that has so much things, but guess what? He gives me so low things. I don't want a high value man, but I'm getting low functioning mentality. I'd rather have a high functioning guy with low values any day. Because guess what? You can always build together.
So let me ask you this. Now let's say you get this guy right. You get this guy, y'all vibing, y'all in the 1-bedroom apartment or the mansion, whatever whatever happens, y'all together, y'all done did the friendship thing, y'all done opened up to one another. You know, it's nothing that y'all can't talk about, and part of that not being able, not being afraid to, to talk about anything together, and y'all together now you start talking, when you start talking to each other, now your exes become a part of that conversation.
Okay.
I mean, how do you deal with, I don't do the shit personally. Okay. If I'm with you, I don't bring up none of my exes to you. That's just me. I'm not gonna do that. But it's people that do it though.
Yes.
And how do you deal with somebody constantly bringing up an ex, or maybe not even just one ex, but several exes? Like, God damn, how many exes you got?
Well, however, that's why I said when you start off as friends, you know about all of that, and then you can set those boundaries. And you start off as friends, so guess what? You know some of their business as well as they know some of your business.
But you may not always know that business though. Because you was just a friend. Shit. I was through these relationships before I met you, or I was in one relationship when I met you, or whatever like that. And
so basically how you deal with it. You can address it one of two ways. You can let them express themselves. And then afterwards, you can also let them know how it made you feel. And you can act respectfully, understand, you might want to reminisce and stuff like that. But the way that it makes me feel, could we not? Because, I haven't been bringing up my ex or my, past or whatnot. And just to value, my feelings. So with that being said, I could just say, hey, if you respect my feelings, could you please not do it again? And that would be vice versa.
Because I'll tell you now, I don't really care for it. I don't do it because when I'm out of a relationship,
it's a closed door.
Yeah, it's a closed. I'm not trying to go back to that any more than what I have to. Granted, I gotta talk about my kids from time to time, and I may say, they mom. And I'm like, God damn, I don't even like even saying they mom. I don't even want to talk about this motherfucker. But do you feel comfortable talking about your exes to your current people in whatever relationship that you've been in or that you are in? Do you feel comfortable talking about the situation you and your ex did?
Well, however, Well, however, if we were friends, most likely, people ask like, "Well, what happened with your last relationship?" That question always comes up. For me, for myself,
People laugh at mine.
I don't indulge in going into what happened because some people can take that and they say, "Oh, well, a person you allowed that person to do this, that, the third. What all can I get away with it?" So my general answer is, we just didn't work out.
Yeah.
And I moved on, they moved on. And here I am, moving on with life. And I leave it at that. I don't revisit what my past was. I leave that at what it was. It just didn't work out. And if they want to elaborate on what it didn't work out for them, that could be like whatever they looking for that's going to be different in the next go round in a relationship. That could be possibly what they're going to accept and what they're not going to accept because of how they were done in that last relationship. Then that's okay to hear them out, so you can get a better understanding of that person.
Yeah, because I know now. Because when I tell people like what happened in my last relationship, people laugh.
And why?
I think I put it in the manner to laugh.
Oh, okay.
Because I actually find it kind of comical. Okay. I'm a funny person. I like to laugh. I like to make light
of the matter
of situations. You know what I'm saying? Where it's crazy. I'm gonna find a way to laugh about this shit right here. You know what I'm saying? So years ago, a few years ago when I got separated from my ex-wife, I did a stand up.
Okay.
Open mic stand up comedy thing, and that was, like part of my skit to get it off of me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? For me to get it off my shoulders and get this weight off my back and all this shit like that. So it's a releasement. Yeah. It was a releasement. Then everybody laughed. I ain't laugh when it happened.
You laugh, you cry now, but you laugh later. At least you got past
it. Yeah. I got past it the next day.
Oh, the next day.
I got past it the next day because I'm sure everybody's done heard this story a couple times already. But I had come home from work, and my then wife, when I came home, I came to the front. I lived in a tri-level home.
Okay.
The living room and the bedrooms and the bathroom was upstairs, and then downstairs was the kitchen and the bathroom and the back room and the laundry room and shit like that. And I had another dog that passed away a couple years ago.
Okay, sorry to hear that.
And, his name was Chulo. So I come to the door, and in a tri-level home, you walk up to the landing,
right?
And he was at the door.
Okay.
And Chulo told me, "Hey, don't go upstairs."
He said, wait. The dog told you don't go upstairs?
Yeah, the dog said don't go. Chulo said don't go upstairs.
So was he gonna look out for you?
He ain't look out enough. And then he's like, don't go downstairs either. I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? So I go downstairs. The everything in the kitchen is gone except for the dish rack and a couple dishes. Everything in the bathroom was gone. Only thing left was a TV and a lazy boy chair. And then I went upstairs. All the bedrooms was gone.
Oh.
Yeah. So then I'm looking. I'm like, God damn.
So she cleaned you out.
Yeah. And Chulo told me, don't go downstairs.
She left the dog though.
Yeah, she left him.
Oh.
He said, don't go downstairs and don't go upstairs. I guess I should have just set my ass right there on the landing.
And sit with him.
But after that, it was, I had a choice. Either I'm gonna let this eat me up, or I'm just gonna go through with life. And I went through with life, and it was, and dating was crazy.
Yeah, dating was something different.
Dating was crazy. You had dating online. You had dating from the bar. You had just dating had just changed. People was just out here just
doing whatever.
Yeah, doing whatever. And there was I used to work at this one job, and after work, some of the guys will go to these damn freak parties.
Mm-mm.
They're like, no, I don't want to go there. You get your keys, you put the keys in the hat, and whoever pick your keys, that's who you fuck with.
Oh,
I'm like, no, I don't want.
Swinger parties.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I don't want that. I'm good on that shit. And I'm just just dating people, but I had never known how to date. I hadn't dated in damn near 20 years.
Okay.
And I ain't know how to date.
Okay.
I ain't know what the fuck. I ain't know what the hell to do.
So let me ask you this question: Did she give you any type of inkling that she was going to be leaving?
Yeah, but sometimes you're in a relationship, you just be in denial.
So did you guys have a conversation that, hey, I'm gonna be leaving and separating you to where you will come home and left with swinging hangers and just a few things in your dog? So that was basically a caught off guard type of thing.
Hell yeah. I worked all goddamn day. I ain't know when I came home from work that was gonna be it.
And so
you know how some people wake up and don't know, hey, at some point in the day you're gonna be shot.
Oh, okay.
You don't know that. You don't know at some point in the day you're gonna be shot, you're gonna be dead.
Or you can wake up and dress yourself and at night the Undertaker take your clothes off. But however, in a relationship, and especially in a marriage, it should be a conversation if we're unhappy and hey, I'm going to want to separate. I want to separate and go my way, and sooner than later, I want to file for divorce. Was that ever like a conversation?
Nah, it should just popped up. I mean, granted, when you're in a relationship that you've been in for so long, you know when things aren't right. You know when things aren't going the way that you would like them to go, but you just hope that you can get past it. Yeah.
Have y'all ever gotten past that type of level before, or was this the first time?
Yeah, I told you, it's like over 20-year relationship.
Okay, so then you took it for granted that it was never going to come to that end.
Yeah, I took it for granted it was never going to come to that end, but then it came to the end when my motherfucking dog Chulo told me, "Don't go upstairs and don't go downstairs."
So
I should listen to him.
So after that, did you contact her?
Hell nah. Shit, I'm free.
You didn't contact wait. So I'm
free.
So you didn't contact her to say like, hey, can we have a conversation? Can we talk about this?
Hell no. Once you took everything out the house without saying bye, fuck you, kiss my ass, any of that shit.
So y'all just never talked after that?
We have talked, but not about that, because it ain't for me. It ain't nothing to talk about no more. No. You know what? I take that back. One day she said me and the kids moving back home. I said the kids are.
But you know.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, before we get out track somewhat, I never bring that up to anyone in my that I ever really dated. You know what I'm saying? I never, shit. You gonna leave me like she did? You gonna this like she did? You gonna that like we used to do this? We used to,
you don't bring that into your new.
No, I don't bring because I think sometimes when people do that, they start looking for that shit from that person. Are you gonna be that same person?
Right.
Or can you be better than that same person versus can you just be you?
Right. And then what you don't want to do is pass judgment and hold that person to what that last person did.
Yeah. So for me, I just let everybody just be who they're gonna be at that time. Bless you.
Thank you.
But dating is so.
It's tricky.
It's tricky.
It's very tricky.
What was the last date you went on?
Let's see. I have a friend. We're not like exclusive or anything. We're just cool. He's 53, and
Guess you're a sugar daddy.
Well, I'm 43, so I've always dated guys that were older than me.
Okay.
So he's like I said, he's 53. He has two daughters. That's one just turned 21, and
Okay.
I believe the other one is 23. He's also a grandfather. One of his daughters has a baby. He's divorced. I don't know how many years or whatnot he's been divorced. I haven't really, brought up his past or anything.
So how long have y'all been seeing each other?
I would say we just ran back into each other within the last month.
Okay.
And for me, into each his own. For me, I just think that I don't know how old he was when he got married and how long the marriage was, because I don't ask questions.
Does he bring up the ex-wife?
No, he does not.
Okay.
And I don't ask any questions. But to me, he just goes out a little bit too much, and it's like seemed like he's missed a portion of his life, and he feels as if he doesn't go out a lot, that he's missing something. And it seems to me that he's scared, like, to be like a long time.
You say he was 52 or 53?
He's 53.
He's 53 years old. Kids 21, 23 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And
he hangs more than them.
And y'all not exclusive?
No.
Okay. So y'all
he's free to do what he chooses.
He free to do as he chooses. But you said one thing.
What?
He hangs a little too much.
Yes, he does. For my liking.
But and y'all not in a relationship.
No, so he's free to do what he chooses.
And he's free to do as he chooses, but he hangs a little too much to your liking.
Yes.
And do you think while he's hanging, he's entertaining other women?
Oh, definitely.
And does that make you feel some type of way?
No, because I'm not with him.
No, even though you're not with them, that don't mean you can't feel some type of way.
No, because if I'm not with somebody, they're free to do what they choose.
Yeah, but you like him.
No, I didn't say I like him. I said we're friends. He's cool.
Do you like him?
He's chattable.
Do you like him?
No, not to that extent. I just said we just ran back into each other.
But he hangs out too much.
He's cool. He's cool to be around. We haven't spent enough time for that to go to that level. Due to him hanging so much, he likes to hang and go to bars and clubs. He doesn't set time to do a date.
Have you expressed that to him?
Yes, I have expressed that.
Has anything changed?
No, it has not. So that's why with me, it won't go any further. Mm-hmm. Because once I express something, and I feel at the age that we are, it's just a 10-year difference. We are both adults. And if you want to get to know me and I'm saying, hey, I don't want to get to know you in a club setting. I don't want to get to know you going out. I don't want to get to know you being in a bar drunk all the time. I want to sit and talk, have conversations, get to know each other. Like I said, we just bumped back into each other within the last month. So basically, you're new to me, you know? So we have to learn each other all over again. And then we need to pick up from where we left off because we didn't know too much about each other then.
So with him going out, he's 53 years old. Mm-hmm. He was married at one time.
Yes.
You don't know how long he was married.
No, I have not asked those questions.
And without asking them questions, it's possible. I ain't saying that he is, but I'm saying it's possible this could be a midlife crisis.
And it is a midlife crisis.
Because I've been in a relationship for over 25 years. Matter of fact, I've been in a relationship longer than I've been an adult. Mm-hmm. It's possible.
And I've said the same thing.
And he's 53 years old. So all this shit that I never experienced,
he got a chance to.
And if the shit feel good, I don't know why I didn't do this before.
Right. And you know what? By all means, let him do him. Because now at the point where I'm at in my life, I wasn't married. And I did my time of hanging out when I was in my 20s and when I was in my 30s. And now that I'm 43, I'm at a different caliber in my life. So with that being said, I don't want to go out and our date be at a bar at a club and this and that. I just, that's not for me right now. That's just not for me. And I don't want to go out with you and your friends. And
Oh no, no.
yeah,
I think that when we go out,
it should just be you and I.
yeah,
And
not that I can't
more
say.
mature,
Yeah,
and
it's us.
Yeah,
We may go to somebody's house for game night.
yeah, I can roll with that, but
when we go out on a date,
I just need it to be us two.
Yeah,
I don't need it to be, oh, my friend gonna pull up on us and this and that. No,
no.
So that's why I said with that situation, it will not go any further than what it is. Hey, how you doing? Oh, you want to meet for a drink? If I'm available, cool.
Yeah.
If I'm not, then it is what it is.
Yeah, because you sure enough not.
So definitely not.
Yeah,
so
I've been trying to get you this podcast
I would
forever.
definitely not waste my time.
I've been trying to get you to this podcast forever.
Hey, I'm a mother first. I have my responsibilities.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah, for that. But I'm just saying it's for dating as well.
Yeah.
I always be transparent with people that I meet. I'm a mother first, so that comes 1st.
Mhm.
I lay everything on the table. That way you can choose to deal with me or you choose not to deal with me. I'm a mother
and you
first.
know what? That's like when I was dating, that was like a semi deal breaker. If you was a mother and you put me in front of your kids,
that's horrible.
That I couldn't well, damn.
Right.
I appreciate it, but
but
damn, you know what I'm saying?
No.
But if you was for me myself,
it showed your character.
If you was a self-respecting individual, now don't get me wrong, you gotta make some time for me.
You do, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we got that. We got to hang out. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is
make sure your children is good.
What kind of mother are you? Yeah, that was my thing when it came
to strong portion
with dealing with women, because growing up I dealt with a lot of strong women, as far as my mother, my grandmother, my sister. I mean, she's younger than I am, but my sister, even at the time my ex-wife, how she dealt with her daughter when I first met her, and then even the lady that I'm dating now, how she deals with her children. You know what I'm saying? So how you deal with your children
shows a lot.
Is a big thing for me, because to be honest, I like children. You know what I'm saying? I like giving children that attention. I like playing with children. I like making children feel like they are important at this moment.
Yeah, they are.
You know what I'm saying? I like making them feel that way, because there's a lot of times that they don't feel that way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's not your fault that you in this world, but at least when you around me, the world gonna feel pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing about, when I'm dating someone and I'm dealing with someone, is how are you as a mother? Now it's done turned into from how are you as a mother to how are you as a grandmother?
Right. Exactly. And
I'm dating grandmothers.
Yeah, and I'm 43, and I waited till I was 35 to have my son, because in my 20s I was doing, my job, and I was also hanging out. I was at that time I was selfish, and that was my occupation that took up my time.
Was you selfish, or you was just?
It's just that I had my occupation at that time, and it wasn't room to be a mother,
right?
And I was also hanging out. I was enjoying my life as a single person, and I didn't feel right at that moment that I would have been an attentive parent. So with that being said, once I got done with my occupation, and once I got done with the phase of hanging out and stuff like that, and I was ready to have a child, I can give my undivided attention to that child. And that way I'm more mature.
Right.
I'm more self-focused. I'm not super pressed to be out in the streets, because I've been there, I've done that. I've seen what it's about. You're not missing anything. And that way I can be the best mother that I can be.
I knew I was missing a whole lot when I finally hit the streets.
Well, to be honest,
I was
once
going
you
to
get out there.
I was going to all the hole in the wall bars.
Yeah, you pay your life to get in. And you pay nothing to get in but your life to get out.
Shit, I made it. I went to. I was going to Tipping In.
Yeah, I've been there. Yes, I've been there before.
I've been to Banco's.
I go there.
Yeah, I've been to Banco.
I grew up at Banco's.
Shit, I go to Blue Martini. Back when they ain't there no more. The Blue Martini.
Yeah. Chuck Millionaires.
Yeah, I was going to
Bingo on the east side.
I was going to all the little. I was going to. I was going to all.
I was
the
from the
things.
East to the West. 7 days.
But I wasn't from Detroit.
Oh,
and okay. I was just, and when I had a job in Highland Park. And when I got the job in Highland Park, and then my ex-wife ended up leaving, shit, I was going to all the damn bars that was in the area because I would just get off and then shoot to the bar. Shoot to the bar. I had a lineup. I had a fifth in my trunk all the time.
You know what? Staying on the ready, huh?
I had a fifth in the trunk, and I had condoms in the armrest.
You know what? I am so through with you. Not the get ready kids. Not the get ready kids.
Yeah, I had never been, single for so long because in high school I had a high school sweetheart.
Okay, so you've been dating since high school. You've been in a relationship since high school.
Since like my junior year of high school. I have actually been in like a full-time like relationship. When I broke up, and then when I broke up with my high school, they say sweetheart.
You moved into something else.
Yeah, I moved. I met my ex-wife.
Okay.
And I went from my ex-wife
all the way through your adulthood.
Yeah, to my adulthood.
So you really missed out. Like, not to say you missed out because marriage is a beautiful thing, unfortunately, but you missed out on your tender years.
Yeah.
So when you get older, it's now time to experience it.
Yeah, and I avoided. I went after I separated from shit.
And it's like they run wild.
I was on the internet.
Oh Lord, not the internet.
Yeah, the
dating
apps.
Yeah,
I was on the dating sites. I was on Tinder,
you know what?
Bumblebee.
I don't know.
What's it called? Bumblebee or Bumble?
I don't know anything about any of those.
I was on POF. I learned real quick. Everybody online, if you was a guy, everybody had a six-pack.
No,
here I am lying. Here I am telling the truth. I'm a big motherfucker. And
everybody putting up fake pictures?
Yeah, everybody putting up fake pictures
you
and shit.
You dealing with a Beyonce and there's really a Beyonce? No.
You goddamn right.
Yeah.
I had never did this shit before. And like I said, but now I don't bring up my ex relationships and no relationship that I'm in now. Even with being in a relationship, I don't even it's not that it's hard to be honest, but what am I going to be honest about? You know what I'm saying? Am I going to be honest about shit? How many women have you slept with? God damn, that's a fucked up question to ask me.
I would say this.
Not saying that I've slept with a lot of people, but just the question coming like, God damn.
Well, I would say this for me.
I haven't, but
for me, don't ask questions that you really, really don't want the answer to. Because to be honest, you're really not going to get the truthful question. You're not going to get the truthful answer. You may have people say, oh, I've been with a couple. What's a couple?
You times that by 3 when it comes to women.
I mean, you could times that by 5 when it comes to men.
No, we gonna let you know.
But
men will. It's easier for men to let you know than it is for women.
Because women is judged more harshly than men are.
Yeah, because some women.
I think that I would say, to be honest, just stay away from those type of questions. That's just my personal.
No, I don't ask those questions.
Yeah, I stay away from those.
Like who? How many?
How many people you slept with? Because Okay, so
what
if a
do you
person
get from
really,
that?
exactly, that's my point.
Yeah.
It's like, let's just stay away from that. For right now,
just
me
know
and you,
just know I don't have no
anything.
STD.
Yeah, you got checked, I've got checked.
Yeah.
And we are moving forward. It's just stay out of those areas that's going to bring
But people always want to communicate though.
Yeah, you can communicate.
Because that's the big thing. Communicate.
Communication, and this communication is in different levels. But what I'm saying is, it's questions that if you feel a person, because 9 times out of 10, a person really not gonna believe a person anyway. If you was to ask me like, well, how many people you slept with, and I say, oh, I slept with 4. Do you really think you're gonna believe that? Like you really slept with 4 people? Like
you 43.
Come on, right?
Hey, you
like
44
so regardless, you not gonna believe me even if I'm telling the truth.
But what about when you in that intimate situation and that motherfucker ask you, because people talk during sex and that motherfucker,
and that was straight kill the bus.
Who hit it better than me?
And that's some shit. And that's just like if a girl, I mean, like, who sucked your dick better, your ex-wife or me?
It's a toss-up.
I mean, it's just certain stuff you just stay away
from. But people ask them damn questions.
Dumbass questions.
Yeah, people ask them damn questions. And then guess what?
Those dumbass questions
then you get your feelings hurt.
Get your feelings hurt.
You get your feelings hurt.
And then it leads to an argument. It leads
I thought I was doing something.
Yeah, and it leads to things that's unneeded. I
thought I was doing something here.
Just take it for what it is. Go for what it is. Get to know the person. And just roll with it. Don't be so quick to pass go. So
when people in relationships, especially women, I think this is especially women.
Okay.
It say communicate. Talk to me.
I mean, that's gonna be for a safe space.
But when men talk to women, a lot of times women can't take it when we finally open up to you.
Depending on the woman.
Because
Depending on
the woman, but I'm gonna say more times than not that as a man, if I'm opening up to you as a woman and I'm communicating to you as a woman, what makes me feel good, what I don't like, how you hurt my feelings, how you make me feel good, some women look at that like, this motherfucker soft.
No. That's why I said it depends on the woman.
Yeah, but sometimes I think it's more women than not you that be like, this motherfucker soft.
Well, those are women that haven't been taught anything, I would say. Because for me, if I was in a serious relationship, I definitely want to be a safe space for my partner. For one, I want to check in on your mental health. For 2, I want to check in on your day. For 3, I want to check in on your feelings, because not only do myself, it's just not one way where they always say men's supposed to check in on the women and, make sure she's okay. Make sure you're the protector. We're a protector of each other. So with that being said, babe, how's your mental health? How are you feeling today? How was work? What else is going on? Let's sit down and kick it. And that's why I say when we can go back to a guy that has all this space, all of this going on, versus me sitting in a 1-bedroom apartment with my mate. Because you know what? That person is not going to be too open because they're too busy. Because they got to maintain all of that. So with that being said, it's like, what? I mean, shit looking good around here. What you think? They're not going to be open. So guess what? Me and a person that's sitting in a 1-bedroom, we can have some chill music on. We can be drinking. We can got us some takeout order, or better yet, we can cook with each other. And hey, how was your day today? What's going on in, your world? It's just not a one-way street to check in on a woman. It's important for the woman to check in on her man as well. He should have a soundboard as well as she should have a soundboard. That's what 2 people are supposed to collage together. And that's what makes a solid relationship. That's what lays a foundation. That's what makes a man be like, guess what? I can come home and I can say, hey, my day was 1, 2, 3, 4.
But how often can that man do that before you as a woman be like, well, damn, who the woman here? Who the
Well,
man?
first of all, it's not counted.
Okay.
And and secondly, I would say we are to listen and not judge. That's in my household. Listen and not judge.
Yeah, I'm listening to you, not judge, but shit.
I mean, but at the same time, we a team.
Yeah.
And that's what team does. It might be something I need to run past you. Hey, what you think about this? How did you think if I handled this right? You think if I'm saying too much, this and that, vice versa, because where I might be straying, you could pick up like, hey, we both got our weaknesses. You got your weakness, I have mine. You got your strength, I have mine.
But men are less talkative than women.
Well,
naturally,
you can bring it out though.
I mean, but it'd be like, but this it's like this is the reason why, say, men fight and women argue. I can't do all this goddamn talking. What we gonna do? But then a woman would be like, well, we gonna talk this shit out regardless of how I talk to you or however this shit come out.
Well,
we gonna do a shitload of talking. And as a man, like, man, look here, man, I'm tired of talking.
This is what you do. First of all, you put your feelings out on the table, or whatever the case may be. I would say address it, and don't address it when you're angry.
Right.
And give it some time. Put it out there. Let you know if it makes you feel a certain type of way. We're not gonna visit it that same day because it might be heated. You can say things that you can't take back.
Right.
So it could, hey, you've said what you've said. I've said what I said. I can say, okay, well, you know what? Give me a couple of minutes or whatever, or give me a day or two, and then we can revisit. When I have more of a clearer mind, I sat with myself and did some thinking, then I can come back in a more calmer state, and then the conversation can flow. And then guess what? I can be better understanding to what you feel, the way you took it, the way you felt I took it, and it's a more clear vision of how we can collide and make things better. It's just the timing, it's just the respect for each other, and it's just the communication that you have with one another. That's why I say it's important to be friends first. That way you can understand each other's
But once you get into a relationship, I mean, I understand the whole being friend thing.
Yes.
Because a friend is what a friend is. But when you are in a relationship,
it moves to another level.
That friend moves to a totally whole
it moves to a different
level.
Dynamic. Yeah, but at least you know what that person is. But see, if you just get with somebody because of looks and you jump right into a relationship, you basically dating a stranger. You dating a stranger. Yeah, you don't know anything about them past they look.
I mean, but that's like me and my kids. We ain't friends.
Okay, that's children though.
Yeah,
that's your bloodline. That's a difference.
Yeah, I mean, because my friends can't whoop my ass. But at the same time, I don't have sex with my friends.
Exactly. But
yeah, but we're in a relationship and we're supposed to be like shit. You cool with me fucking my friends?
I'm not saying that. I said what you should start off is friends relationship. You shouldn't be so quick to dive into a relationship without getting to know a person. I feel like it should go in steps because when you rush everything.
What's your steps?
My steps is getting to know a person. Why should I rush?
How do you get to know somebody?
I mean, you're talking.
Everybody different.
You talking. Well, for me, I'm going to speak for myself. For me, is talking. For me is getting to know what you do and what you don't like. For me is us courting, going out, doing things together. That's another thing. You can see how people behave in public, how they eat in public, how they handle themselves in public.
Don't put no chicken wings around me in public.
But I'm just saying.
There ain't gonna be no meat left on that. There ain't gonna be no meat left on them bones.
But what I'm saying
so don't be mad when I'm eating that chicken wing and
Oh,
that
of course,
motherfucking
do your
bone come out,
thing.
that bone come out
Clean.
clear as hell.
Hey, listen,
That
do your
whole
thing.
bone be in there. I pull the motherfucker out of the damn thing, just be smooth as a baby's bottom.
You know what?
Yeah, we go out and don't be mad at me.
There's no judgment.
Don't be mad at me because I done went through 6 beers already.
Yeah, I'm not, because I'm gonna go through a couple of Cosmos. Don't get me wrong. It's no judgment.
I'm counting.
And guess what?
I'm counting the beer.
But my thing is, see, that's us getting to know each other. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's us vibing. And that's something that if you see that you like that, I'm like that, and you like it what you vibing with, I'm liking what I'm vibing with, then we can check that off. We have a good time when we go out. We have a good time when we go out to eat. We have a good time when we go out to drink. We have a good time when we go to a concert, a comedy show.
So let me ask you this. What about when shit gets thick?
When shit gets
thick and we get into that, because because as you say, we're people.
Mm-hmm.
We have our ways.
Of course.
And we get upset about things from time to time. How do you deal with it when the vibe isn't that great?
Okay, well, first of all, I would say don't always expect the conversation when a person is mad or a person is feeling a certain type of way. That's why I said give it a moment.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I also stated that, hey, right now isn't a good time to talk. I'm not, disregarding you. I'm not ignoring you or anything like that because that's childish. But right now, I just want to calm down. That gives another person a chance to calm down as well. That way that we can hear each other and we can come together and we can express how we feel. We can express how each other.
Is that from the woman's side? Is that from the woman's side?
That's both sides.
Both sides?
It should be.
Shit. Wake me up to some sex. I forget about everything.
See, no, because that's not gonna solve anything. Because that problem's gonna come back up again.
At the moment, it's gonna solve something.
That's gonna be.
She still love me.
The moment of.
She still love me.
To really.
She done woke me up with something.
I doubt it if y'all guys are on that level. If you're,
I don't woke her with something then.
Well, however,
don't move my head.
Besides sex,
don't move my head.
You should
put that titty right there.
Conversation about what you said or what you did, how it made me feel.
I'll tell you all that on the titty.
Vice versa.
I'll tell you all that on the titty.
And guess what? Y'all can get past that. And then now that's another stepping stone that you have passed. Now you know how to articulate.
But if you give me a titty, I forgot all about it.
Sex don't solve everything.
But shit, it solve a lot. It don't solve everything.
You can have sex all the time and then that's like having a drink, and then once you get sober, guess what? The problem's still gonna hit you after that high come down. You still gotta face the same problem.
Oh, you still want to talk afterwards?
You still need to work it out.
You still gonna want to talk?
No, because you're band-aiding it.
I thought we was done.
No, you're band-aiding it. You're band-aiding it, and especially if you want a relationship to go far, especially if you want something special out of a relationship, especially if you want something significant. Don't band-aid things with buying gifts. Don't band-aid it with having sex and then stuff like that. Because guess what? That same stuff is going to repeat itself. And if you don't know how to handle it, it don't do nothing but get worse. So at the end of the day, guess what? We don't have to talk about it today, but we can revisit it when we are both calm. We're both cool and collective. You can speak your mind. I can speak my mind.
You can speak to me having sex. I'm calm then.
Listen.
I'm calm then.
You cannot band-aid everything.
Remember yesterday when you did this? Yeah, I was wrong, baby. I was wrong. See how that worked out?
And then guess what? Then when you be
back
at the same, then you be back at the same place again because you never fully confronted it.
I did confront it. I was wrong.
Yeah, that's a band-aid. We're not doing band-aiding over here.
I was wrong.
We're doing fixing so we can move forward.
You was right. I was wrong. That ain't fixing it.
That's band-aiding.
That's band-aiding it?
That's just like going, oh, babe, you know what? You was right, and here go a bag. That's band-aiding.
So let me ask you this.
I don't want a band-aid. I don't want a band-aid fix.
Well, let me ask you this then. Because granted that band-aids do happen.
Yeah.
Some people don't mind the band-aid.
I don't like band-aids.
Some people do mind the band-aid.
I don't want a band-aid.
But then in the middle of that somewhere, a ghost happens.
What's a ghost?
Because shit, I thought we was all good, but you consider the band-aid. Now when I get ready to call you or try to contact you, you ain't nowhere to be found. You ain't answering your phone. You're not responding to your text messages.
That's because you didn't communicate and talk.
I did communicate.
What you communicated with the band-aid.
I communicate. I was just like this communicating.
That's a band-aid.
That's a band-aid?
That's a band-aid.
I wasn't mad.
It's a band-aid. And it's not focusing on and heading on the problem and solving the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a band-aid. Because the person could probably be affected by how they was treated, how they were talked to, how their feelings was ignored. If you don't hear them out, you don't know how to fix it. And band-aiding something is just not the proper tools to evaluating the relationship. It's just simple as that. So in a real relationship, sit down, communicate. I wouldn't say talk while you're angry. Give it some moments. Then you don't have to worry about ghosting because that's immature and that's childish and that's running. That's a coward move.
But would you say more women ghost, or would you say more men ghost, or would you say it's pretty even?
I would say it's pretty even on depending on the type of person, because not all people is like that.
Because I got ghosted one time. Well, I don't even know if it was necessarily ghost. Well, I think it was, but then again, I think it wasn't. Well, I'm gonna say it was bullshit because I was dating this one lady.
Mm-hmm.
She worked on the bridge, in the Ambassador Bridge.
Okay.
And she told me that I worked too much.
So did she feel like you worked too much where you didn't give her enough time or you didn't make enough time for her?
Well, I thought I made enough time for her because we would go out from time to time and things like that.
So when you say time to time, what do you mean? Can you give me more specifics?
I mean, maybe like once or twice a week we would go out. Or whatever. All like if at the time when the job that I had would rotate off days.
Okay.
So I would so for several weeks or maybe a month I would be off Tuesday, Wednesday, and then after that for like another few weeks I would be off Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
Then I would be off Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
And of course, she was off every weekend.
She was aware.
And of course, she was off every weekend.
Okay, so she knew y'all's schedules conflicted. Yeah. But she was okay when you first met.
Yeah, when we first met, it was okay. And then but then she was like, you work too much. I mean, and I never grasped how somebody could say, well, I know why you can say somebody works too much. Well, but then I never grasped to say, how can you say someone works too much? Because if I'm working, then and we going out, then this and that can happen.
Right. So then I would have asked her, you was aware what my schedule was, what my job was when I told you up front and you didn't have a problem with it. I'm sorry that I'm unavailable every weekend to be with you, but however, my days off that I do have, I am spending it with you, And
then she ghosted me.
Well, then she did herself a favor.
Yeah.
She did you a favor as well, because you shouldn't have to be penalized for working because of her schedule is Monday through Friday.
And sometimes I think that a lot of women say be honest, but a lot of times I don't think they really want you to be honest.
See, me,
because they can't take the honesty.
Be honest. Hey, my job, I work afternoons, 3 to 11. My days, they rotate. I am not off every weekend. So with that being said, every weekend I'm not going to be available to take you out to dinner. I'm not going to be available to take you to the movies.
Yeah.
Now, if you let me know ahead of time, I can put in for a certain day if it's something that you specifically want to do. But other than that, I'm not going to mess up my job just to hang out. And if a person cannot understand that right then and there, that's a red flag. That person is not for you. That's why I said it's good to communicate. That's the way you can tell if that person fits for you and they do not fit for you.
Being ghosted. You know what I'm saying? Not that I care, not that it's ever made me like, why she ain't never want to talk to me no more, no shit like that. But my thing is that a lot of women will sit up there and say, be honest with me, open up with me, this, that, and the third. And then they be the first ones to ghost you.
Okay. Well, for myself, I would say I never let it, speaking back to being friends, especially if I didn't get it a couple of weeks into a month.
Yeah.
If I just recognize that it's just not a fit, I just simply fall back because...
But do you tell that person you falling back?
No, I just fall back because it's only been a couple of weeks to a month. What is it to really say? You know, and
I'm gonna put some time in with you.
A few weeks, that don't mean you talk every day. You know, a few weeks, that don't mean that you went out every day. And a few weeks, that don't mean that we've had super conversations. So for me to just fall back and you can kind of feel the vibe if it's not correct. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you telling me be honest.
Yeah,
and I'm being, as a man, I'm being honest with you.
I understand. I would say this.
And then a woman sit up there and say, you know what, I'm just gonna fall back. I ain't gonna say much of nothing.
Well, I would say this. Like I said, I only let it get a couple weeks, no more than a month. Okay. That right there, like, you know how they say women will say a man knows if a woman is, for him. And, you know, if he wants to marry her, it doesn't take longer than 6 months to a year. And they got all these, you know, increment times, framing and all that kind of stuff. For myself, I give it a couple of weeks, you know, but if I see within those couple of weeks, no more than a month, that it's not you know, it's something that's just not adding up for me, I don't feel like it's needed for me to say, hey, you know, you and I are not working out, you know, is this.
What's wrong with saying that?
Because 9 times out of 10, I've had a stalker before. And not just one, a few. So for myself, it's just, you know, some people handle rejection in different ways. And what I've learned was to, hey, if it's just not fitting for me, I just go ahead and I politely just remove myself.
But you know, because as a guy, like I said, I think more women ghost men than men ghost guys.
I think it's an equal balance.
If you ask me,
I think it's an equal balance.
Because I know, you know, it's been a few, you know, women in the past, like you know, once I separated from my ex-wife, and you know, I was out there dating and shit like that. You know, some women just won't. They'll tell you they want you to tell them the truth and be open with them, but then they won't. But then they won't do what they expect from you, and that's being open and honest and saying things like that. Not that I would ever. I ain't got that much goddamn time, nor money, or gas to stalk you.
Look, I've had a stalker.
You know, and me myself is that if I expect this out of you, if I expect this from myself to you, you know, I expect the same thing. You know what I'm saying? If you tell me you're not gonna lie to me, and I'm not gonna lie to you. If you tell me I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna be honest with you. But then you don't be honest with me. I'm like, well, shit. That's what really makes you as a woman, not say you, but makes you as a woman that much less attractive, because you asked me to do something that you couldn't do yourself, and that's be honest. You asked me to be honest, but then you can't be honest.
Well, let me ask you this question. Like for myself, I said a couple of weeks, no more than a month.
Yeah.
So if somebody you talk to, well, let's just say you knew them a couple of weeks, no more than a month, right? Y'all maybe went out, maybe once, if that. Had a couple of conversations on the phone. Y'all really haven't had too much interaction with each other, and it was just something that you was like, this is not a fit for me, and you just fell back. Would you consider that ghosting? Because you haven't had that much interaction. You haven't had dates. You haven't had. It's just every night. It's not you talking every day on the phone. It's just no more than a couple of weeks, no more than a month. You give it a month tops, and you probably talk to this person maybe 2 to 3 times, and you haven't been on no dates.
I mean, I still would like that same honesty. I would still like, not necessarily just closure, but I think closure is such.
I mean, when people, that's what it is.
I think
closure.
when people say closure, well,
that's what
at the time, I don't think people understand even what.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So many people say, "Well, I want closure." Closure on what?
Yeah.
Because if we only talk for a here and there, and no more than a month.
But once we make an agreement, we made an agreement, and that agreement is because we friends.
The agreement. If I just got to know you and I just met you, right? Yeah. Say for instance, I met you at a bar or something, right? And we exchanged numbers. We talk for maybe, 2 or 3 times out of maybe 2 weeks, and I just like, okay.
But in them few conversations,
and you just realize, hold on, I ain't said nothing, but I realize it ain't what it is, and I just fall back. You still feel like that's ghosting?
Not necessarily.
That's what I'm saying.
But if we have a conversation and saying,
but we ain't had one.
But if we do have a conversation,
but we haven't.
But if we do have a conversation, and you say,
different.
I want you to be honest with me.
The articulation is different.
Just if you don't
be like me, be upfront, right?
Yes.
But if we have not had that conversation,
but if I do that, and I'm being honest with you, but then you can't do what you asked of me.
Yeah, I understand that.
That's the issue then.
But what I'm saying, if I haven't had that conversation.
No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
That we haven't had that conversation.
Exactly. So I haven't laid that on the table like, hey, just be honest and blah, blah, blah. And me and you just had a couple of conversations within a few weeks, no more than a month.
But I think that more times than not, women always had that conversation to be honest with me. Are you dating somebody else? Be honest with me.
What?
Are you seeing somebody else? Be honest with me.
What I was always taught by my cloth, it's a bitch everywhere. So asking that question is really setting yourself up. Because guess what? If they're going to tell you no, that shit is definitely a lie. It's a bitch always somewhere.
Yeah, it's always going to be a bitch somewhere. But don't tell me something. Don't expect me to be. Don't put the expectations on me.
It go both ways.
That you can't accept yourself.
It go both ways.
Yeah.
So it's just like, hey, are you dating somebody? It's a nigga somewhere.
Yeah.
So those are redundant questions.
If you have a baby daddy, I know it's a nigga somewhere.
Like I have a son, and my son's father, I haven't seen him since he was 2, and my son is 8.
Yeah.
So guess what? He's not anywhere. He wouldn't know my son if my son walked past him.
Yeah, but it's a lot of women out there that know
that lies,
lie and be in contact with that baby daddy because you're from the same area. And a lot of times when you're in the same area and for some odd reason this motherfucker this brother here is having a slow week, a slow month. I'm gonna call my baby dad. I'm gonna call my baby mama up and see what's up with her. And it happens. It happens.
In my case,
it happens. And he comes by from time to time and knock her off, or she ain't been with nobody for a minute. She called her baby daddy up because they familiar with each other, and she call him over. He come over and do the damn thing and shit like that. And then when you get a so-called somebody that you dating, and you still doing this shit, but then she never says, hey, I'm still sleeping with my baby daddy.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But however, for myself, me and my son's father is not from the same neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And my son, like I said, my son is 8 years old, and my son's father haven't seen him since he was 2.
Right.
And we do not have a conversation whatsoever. He does not have my phone number. He does not have any type of contact with me. Only contact that he has is when we show up via Zoom through child support.
Mm-hmm.
And I give them an address that they can have. That, guess what, on the paperwork that if he try to pull up to, you ain't gonna find me there. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't know what my son looked like if he was to walk past him. My son does not know what he looks like. I don't speak ill intent about his father. My son has yet to ask about his father.
So when that day come up, then what?
Well, I'm going to speak truthfully, and I'm not going to make it harsh, because that's childhood trauma for a child.
Yeah.
But however, not to badmouth him, but a coward is a coward, and I just let God deal with that type of person at the end of the day.
Yeah. I would do the same thing as let God.
Let God take his course.
Yeah, me myself. People say karma. I don't believe in karma. Well, I just believe in God.
Yeah. And let God handle it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And at the same time, I don't believe in necessarily bashing the other parent.
Yeah, I don't bring him.
You know what I'm saying?
So my son don't even know his father's name.
So even if even if he was to come up, and not necessarily come up, but and he'd be like, who was my daddy? Oh, that nigga don't give a fuck about you.
No,
that motherfucker, that motherfucker ain't cared too.
No, that's not.
And gave you 2 red cents.
Let me tell you, the thing of it is that my son means more to me.
Uh-huh.
So that's harming my child by bashing that person.
Yeah.
So with me, how I'm going to handle it is I will sit my son down. I do have pictures of his father. I do have pictures of him when he was smaller with his father. And I'm going to put it in the most polite way as I can. Mm-hmm. And then that will be that. When my son gets a certain age, he's old enough now to see who's there for him. He see who provides for him. He see who comes for him. He see who has his best interests. I don't have to bash the other person.
So that day that comes up and your son says, and he's going to school, and people at school are saying,
fathers,
my daddy is this, is that, and the third. What do you say to him about his father?
Well, they've had bring your dad today school. As far as they can come to school and tell what their occupation is and stuff like that. My son did say something about it, but he didn't read too much into it. Mm-hmm. It was just like, oh yeah, it's bring your dad to work day. Yeah. Bring your dad to school day to show that, what their occupation is. And I was like, oh, okay. And I just left it open to see what his continuation was going to be, to let him freely speak. And my son didn't go any further with it.
Okay.
So I just left it there,
But are you prepared?
Yeah.
In the later years, when he becomes a teenager and he starts hitting manhood and things like that, are you prepared to have that conversation with him? And in that conversation, do you think or do you believe that your emotions or your feelings will get in the middle of that conversation? And not to say that you would say the shit, but your daddy ain't shit, your daddy or your daddy is whatever, and I'm gonna let you figure this out.
No, because the thing of it is, I prayed about it, and I turned it over to God.
Right.
So those feelings that I have released those feelings.
Right.
Because I'm not going to let that person rent space in my head for free. I'm not going to let that person bring me down.
Support that.
and make me a bitter person, where that takes away my parenting for being the best mother that I can be to my son.
Right.
So with that being said, I'm going to explain it to the best of my ability to my son. And I also teaches my son how to pray. So with that being said, son, unfortunately, your dad isn't around because of his personal circumstances. And when you get older, if your dad decides to come around, you can always ask him yourself, because you're old enough, you've been, you've seen who's been taking care of you. You can ask him that question and get his answer. You can never say that my son would never be able to say, my mother bashed you.
Right.
My mother disrespected you. I have literally not shown my son no pictures of his father. I have not. My son don't even know his father's first name.
Right.
He has his father's last name.
So let me ask you this. With that being said, what made you give your son his father's last name? Because I don't have my father's last name.
Well, the reason why I gave my son his father's last name, because at the time his father was actually interested when he was around, and he wanted his son to have his last name. I did not know that he was going to switch up after my son turned a certain age, and he was going to act as if he didn't exist.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I did what any mother would do. Hey, you want your son to have your last name. This is your son, by all means.
Because growing up, growing up as a young man, well, I don't have my father's last name. You know what I'm saying? And for whatever reason, my mother didn't give me my father's last name, and my sister doesn't have her father's last name. And when I was younger, didn't understand that.
And that's a mother's choice, because you understand it when you get later.
Yeah, but me and my sister, my mother, on my mother's side of the family,
we have all the same last
name.
We're gonna make sure that we're gonna carry the lineage that matters.
Yeah, and I have to say that
it makes more sense.
Yeah, and I'm happy that my mother made that choice not to give me
a person
his last name, and I'm happy that she decided not to give my sister her father's last name.
Yes,
and with that, like you say, with your lineage, my kids
could carry on what you got going on.
Got my last name from being on my father's side, because I feel like if they would have had my father's last name,
on the toxic,
they don't know anything about that end.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they know
what that.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So when people now I ain't no Bible toter, but at the same time, I also know that God is good.
Yes.
And God gave my mother
the discernment.
To say, take this last name. Yeah. Take this last name.
Yeah.
Because we could be I could have one last name, my sister could have another last name, my mother could have another last name.
Right.
And y'all wouldn't even know we was related.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But
she made the conscious decision to make it make sense.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that she made
that decision.
That discernment. And it wasn't based off in that decision wasn't off emotion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Out of spite or out of motion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I believe it was made out of sound mind.
A healthy decision.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm changing my son's last name.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to change his last name to my last name.
Right.
Which will carry my father's last name. And that will be that. And I've forgotten my son. I said, hey, how do you like, your mom's last name? Or how about if you want my grandfather's last name?
Right.
Because my grandfather was a strong man. He served World War I, World War II. So how would you like to be either or. But I'm going to give you something that has character. I'm going to give you something that has integrity. I'm going to give you something that you can have a history to fall back on versus a person that doesn't want to be bothered. That's out here. They don't live that far.
And I think that I don't. It's just me, but I think names play a role.
It does.
In
your character.
It
does.
You know, because like you just said, had I not had my grandfather's last name, I may be a different individual.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You carrying around a name that you have no knowledge of.
Yeah, because like my kids have all my kids have the same mother. You know what I'm saying? Even though we may not be together now, but all my kids, that
name still matters.
And they have the same parents. Now, one of us or both of us may not be worth two pennies rubbed together.
It don't
matter. But at the same time,
that name carries.
And
that matters.
And I don't have any other kids outside of that. Yeah. Outside of that, you know damn well when you go to the store somewhere, ain't gonna be another Dilla child that come from me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And you know when you run across anybody else that child not gonna have that child's not gonna have your mother's maiden name or that other individual's name at the same time either. And that also goes back to what we was talking about earlier, as far as talking to people about our previous relationships. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where I can feel safe to say, well, nah, all my kids got the same mother. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just out there just
doing that for that.
I ain't gonna say I ain't out there, but ain't no proof of it.
Right. But you know that I had a structured life.
Yeah.
And I had one spot, regardless of whatever it was what it was when it was.
Right.
And it was structured. All my children is by that one person. My children has this last name, and it was what it was. If it didn't work out, it just didn't work out. And I'm moving forward with my life.
Yeah.
And that's just completely it. It just didn't work out.
Because my mama almost named my daddy name. Yeah. That was going to be fucked up.
Yeah, see. And
that was going to be fucked. No, I'm on my first name.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't give my son.
I was almost Percy.
Yeah, see,
You'd have been talking to Percy right now. You'd have been off the clock with Percy.
See, I didn't give my son I didn't give my son his father's name, you know. And my son and his sister, he has 4 children. Well, his first child is deceased. She overdosed. And her birthday and my son's birthday is on the same day.
Oh, wow.
So the first child and the last child that you, how can I say this in a polite way? He has stated that his first child was a one-night stand child. And that right there was like Then it was like, you know, no judgment. Yeah. Okay. You know, you were young, you know, I hear you. And however, she became using drugs and she died from a fentanyl overdraw.
Oh, wow.
And her birthday was the same day as my son's birthday.
Oh, wow.
So your first child and your last child. So God works in mysterious ways. Like, I know I'm going to take your first child, but I'm going to give you a second child on that day to give you a second chance. And, and so for that day,
in that too.
And so for that day, you would think it would be bad for him because you got 2 kids that the one you didn't deal with her, and the way you wasn't a father to her as a young lady. She turned to the streets. She had 2 children herself. They got taken away because of her drug habit.
Right.
And you wasn't a father enough to stand up and step in. And she died in your mother's basement. That right there is another smack in the face.
Yeah.
And, you know, with that being said, to just sum it up, that day should be very bad for him.
I mean, yeah, but it's also
for a selfish person like himself and a narcissistic person, and he's for himself, it probably doesn't bother him.
Me and my sister, we was like you said when divine intervention kicks in.
Yeah.
Me and my sister was born on the same day.
Oh, okay.
6 years apart from each other.
Wow.
We share the same birthday, but at the same time, don't get me wrong, my father, he took care of his responsibility. Being me, he took care of me. When it comes for Christmas and school clothes and things like
monetarily.
that. Yeah, he took care of that. But as far as
being a present,
as far as he was present, I can't say he wasn't present, but he wasn't present because once I got older, I started to understand. Like when I got my own place, you ain't no come visit,
right?
You know what I'm saying? You ain't no come kick it with when I got my own place. When I was with my mama,
became a man.
Yeah, you ain't come. You know what I'm saying? I come see you,
right?
You know what I'm saying? I come kick it with you. I come do these things. With you, but.
It wasn't reciprocated back the other way.
No, it wasn't. And even to this day, like I tell people right now, this podcast is like a therapy to me. You know what I'm saying? And I've had other people come to me and tell me the podcast is like a therapy to them as well.
Because you see how much you have in common with other people, and it's just not you. Like, look at this right now. We're both speaking on the same thing. And you would never even know it. Like, the same identical thing. Yeah. My mother is thinking, and here I am as a woman with the same discernment. Like you said, it wasn't out of emotions. It wasn't out of anything being spiteful. It was the best thing to do for her children.
Right.
Yeah.
And that, went a long way. Like I say, my father was always there when I needed, something for school, some, clothes or whatever it was like that. He wasn't necessarily absent, but when I got older, I realized how absent that he was because there wasn't no bond between the two of us.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You need this, all right, I get this. You need that, all right, I got that.
But
you know what I'm saying?
Actual stuff.
Yeah, but when it comes to bonding,
it's nothing there.
Yeah, there's no bond there. You know what I'm saying? I even take it a step further. My kids know they have a grandfather,
but there's no bond there either.
But they don't have a grandfather,
right?
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna force them to go through what I went through.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to be a part of it, you more than free. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I got my own relationship with this individual.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'll call them. See how you doing? All right, we done.
Exactly.
And we go from there because I'm a firm believer that love thy parents, live a long life. I gotta love my father. My father did plenty of shit for me, but at the same time, when it comes to relationship wise, I also understand and know that this shit may not last. I'm good with moving on after this shit. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? So I understand all that type of shit when it come to moving on from some damn body.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I understand what it is.
The thing of it is you built up your tolerance with it, and you know how to accept it, and you know how to receive it, and you know how to move on with it.
Yeah.
And it's a good and a bad thing, but at the same time, it makes you stronger at the end of the day.
Right.
And you don't have to sit and let it hold that childhood trauma.
Right? Yeah, because I got a real soft spot for children. Because I got a real soft spot. I got a real soft spot for children. Let's just say for shits and giggles, me and you was together, and you got an 8 year. There's no way in the world I'm gonna let this 8-year-old child go without anything.
A father figure.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna feel something from me. You know what I'm saying? You gonna know that you're not alone in this world, regardless of the matter. I got my oldest daughter is my stepdaughter, but she ain't my stepdaughter. You know what I'm saying?
Still your daughter.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing that she can't call me for that I won't do. you know, and things of that nature. There's nothing that my own kids can't call me for that I won't do because I just don't want to.
Right.
I may not be able to do it because I just think I can't do it.
Right now, but it's gonna get done.
Yeah, it's gonna get done, but it's never gonna be because I just don't want to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that goes even with relationships. I'm never gonna do anything in a relationship just because I just outright don't want to.
Right.
I'm gonna do if I can't do something, it's just because
it's not right in that time.
Yeah, I just can't do it right
make it happen some other time.
Right. And it just won't happen now. And I think the world that we live in, we live in a right now world.
Yeah.
You order something.
You want
DoorDash. I want it right now.
Yeah. You microwave it. You want microwave time.
Yeah.
I want to heat it up right
now. Amazon. I want it right now. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know,
I want it tonight.
And if I can't get it in 3 days away, I ain't getting it.
Right, I got a problem.
Yeah, I want my money back.
Exactly.
You know what
I'm done with you. Cancel.
But I ain't went to the store to get none of this shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we live in a right now world.
Yeah.
You know, and that goes in even with the relationships that we have.
Yeah.
We want the relationship to work right now.
And we miss so many. That's what I said. We miss so many red flags because we jump in and we want everything right now.
Yes.
And right now ends right now when you don't take the time out to get to know the person.
Right.
So it's like you put in so much time for the right now for it to end right now.
Right.
And then you bitter.
You know, because everything in this world is right now.
It's too fast.
You look at you even look at artists right now.
Everybody want to come up and be big.
Right now.
Right.
And
I want to rap one time and I'm big.
Yeah. But back in the day when you had artists that had like 4 or 5 albums before they made it big.
Yeah, underground.
Yeah. Matter of fact, it wasn't even underground. It was just that your shit just didn't hit the top 100.
Exactly.
And it took you to your 6th album or sometimes your 4th album before you got it.
Yeah.
Because people work with you. Yeah. They constantly work with you. And now it's like if you don't do that shit right now, if you don't have a hit album right now,
you ain't it.
You ain't it.
Right.
And they're gonna drop you just like that. And it's just like that in relationships.
Exactly.
If I don't feel it right now,
if you don't flip the bill right now, you cancel.
Yeah. Instead of learning how to work with each other.
Yeah, that's what
instead of learning each other.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And I'm gonna cancel you right now. I'm done with
That's
you.
what I said. Friends. That way you can learn and know, grow, and this and that, and then you can move in. Quit being so quickly to put a title on everything.
Yeah.
Everybody want a title so fast. A title, you move in so quick, you move out so quick.
Right.
And it's just the bottom line. At the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with taking your time.
No, it's not.
Because you do not want to waste time or not taking time. And it's not bad to pray about it as well. Ask God for discernment. Ask God for wisdom and knowledge and courage and to give you directions and stuff like that. Because if you try to do it on your own, it's not going to work out.
No, it's never going to work out.
Exactly.
And, you know, I tell people a lot of times, and I told people plenty of times, you know, especially when it comes to God, you know, just be that vessel.
Yes.
God gonna steer you
all the way right.
All the way right. All you gotta do is be that vessel.
And be patient.
Yeah, patience is a virtue.
Exactly. I ain't heard from you yet, so I'm gonna do my own thing.
Yeah.
Okay, then when you run into that brick wall, don't come back.
Right.
God, what happened? Well, you wasn't patient.
Right.
You didn't sit to hear from him.
Right.
So don't get mad when you taking things upon your own self. He said, "Ask and it shall be given."
Right.
So when you don't ask and you do things on your own, don't get mad when it don't turn out.
You know, I think that this was a great podcast.
Exactly.
I think that we touched on a lot of things that people want to touch on, but are scared to touch on.
Exactly.
You know, and that you know involved, you know, with me being vulnerable and with you being vulnerable and being able to put this stuff out here.
Right.
You know, and I think that people are going to get a lot out of this. You know, and I can't help but really appreciate that you finally showed up after so long.
Sorry. I'm a mother first.
but I think that I learned a lot, and I think everybody that's gonna see this is gonna learn a lot.
Of course.
This as well because
there's so many others going through that.
Yeah, because we all in the same boat.
Yeah.
But the boat just looked different.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We all in the same boat. The boat just looked different from time to time. So I really appreciate you, coming out and doing the podcast with me. So I want everybody to like and to subscribe to Off the Clock with Mo. And I'm sure and I hope that this won't be the last time that we do a podcast together.
Of course not. I'll definitely be back.
So we're going to go ahead and sign out. And
thank you for having me. It was an awesome podcast.